The doctors were not there. I waited 7 hours of labor and had to go into theater at 5 p.m. in the evening.
Stacy was laying bare the trauma that nearly cost her life.
They called the ambulance. I had to wait for another hour. When the ambulance came, it ran out of fuel right outside the door. So I had to pay 1,000 bob so the driver could hop on a bike and go get fuel. I had to wait another 30 minutes.
I would say you need to listen to the story of Stacy Adhiambo spoke here, and you would get this urge to have sat all the governors in this room.
The Devolution Conference in Homa Bay wrapped up with diverse reflections on health. For the host county, it marked a moment of pride and celebration.
And I'm really, really proud that the 96th day has reached without us losing a single mother, because one life lost is one too many.
Homa Bay ranks among Kenya's 15 deadliest counties for mothers, with maternal mortality rate of 516 deaths per 100,000 live births. At a side event, lessons from the grave through County MPDSR, the cracks in maternal care were laid bare. Just 3 weeks earlier, 23-year-old Stacy Adhiambo went into labor.
My pregnancy journey was smooth. I had all the scheduled ANC visits and was scheduled for the 6th one on 3rd of this month, which did not happen because I started receiving my labor pains on 26th. I was admitted at Makongeni Sub-County Hospital in the morning by 7, 9 centimeter dilated.
Her journey mirrors the 3 delays that still cost mothers their lives: delay in seeking care, delay in reaching a facility, and the 3rd delay is receiving adequate care once there. A silent chain that too often turns childbirth into tragedy. Stacy beat delay number 1. She sought care the moment labor began, but then came delay number 2, and that's where her nightmare began.
1 hour, 2 hours into labor, I was referred to Homa Bay Referral Hospital because apparently there were complications. They called the ambulance. I had to wait for another hour. When the ambulance came, it ran out of fuel right outside the door. So I had to pay 1,000 bob so the driver could hop on a bike and go get fuel. I had to wait another 30 minutes. So I was admitted at Homa Bay Referral by 10:30 a.m. in the morning, Saturday. So when I got there, the nurses there were helpful and very cooperative. They assisted me however they can. And by midday, I signed for an emergency C-section because apparently I was 10 centimeter dilated, but I couldn't give birth. The doctors were not there. I waited 7 hours of labor and had to go into theater at 5 p.m. in the evening. So when I got to theater, the baby was safely delivered, but unfortunately I got complications. There was a lot of blood, that's what you call an hemorrhage. Due to a uterus rupture, they had to do an emergency subtotal hysterectomy to help save my life.
What is a subtotal hysterectomy, you may ask? It is a surgical procedure where the uterus is removed but the cervix is left intact. In an emergency case like Stacy's, it's often done quickly to stop severe bleeding and save the mother's life, especially after complications like a uterine rupture. While it prevents future pregnancies, it can be a life-saving measure when there is no time to spare. All this while, her husband waited outside the operating room with no word of what was happening inside.
I hear babies cry and I'm like, oh, thank God that must be him, because nobody else was in that room. It's only her who got in. I'm like, okay, thank God the baby is okay. But I'm not hearing anything like her speaking or maybe talking or maybe wailing or anything. It's dead silence. It's getting to 6, 7. What's happening? And I start asking questions again. I had the patient come in at around 4:30. She was getting to the CS. It's 4 hours past. What's happening? Ngoja daktari mkubwa anakuja kukuambia.
There was no time to process. Everything was happening too fast.
So in between the time I was moved from the theater's recovery room to the first ward, I had trouble getting blood. So I had to mobilize my friends and family members to help me get transfusions, as the hospital also helped.
Back home, Stacy and her husband are still pondering over their experience. He's nursing his wife as she recovers. They still have a lot to unpack from their experience at the hospital. The admission records don't add up. They bear a different date from the day they were admitted. They had to buy drugs the hospital couldn't provide.
Is there a way that such things should not happen? If a whole hospital, I still have those receipts, is asking me to go and buy medicine outside to come and bring. When I come to bring the medicine, the watchmen at Ward 2 are asking me to give them kitu kidogo ndo nipite na dawa.
Stacy was speaking in a forum of healthcare experts who discussed at length the challenges facing the industry.
As obstetricians, now that Dr. Amenge mentioned obstetricians, and I know we have many obstetricians in this room, we can do one simple thing. Just be available in our workplaces. Just be there when you're needed. If you're not there, please offer leadership. In
Stacy's case, what else could have been done?
There is a simple garment that can be wrapped around a mother. It's called a NASG garment, a non-pneumatic anti-shock garment. And it should be law for every maternity unit in this country to have that garment, especially low-level facilities where mothers need to be moved from one facility to another facility. And what that garment does, it just shuns blood to the critical organs in the mother's body, and it prevents her from dying. And they have been shown to actually be very effective. There are studies that have shown that they have reduced mortalities from 9 to 3.1%, which is a significant margin.
While the system is evolving, pushing for better care, more equity, and patient-centered reforms, what Stacy lived through tells a different story.
I would like to add the county government to please ensure that we have adequate health personnel, because as much as they try to help us, they are overwhelmed by patients. Maybe the next patient might not survive 7 to 8 hours of labor, but the child is strong and alive without any complications. I would like to urge them to ensure that we have reliable transport, fully fueled and equipped, because the next mother might not have 1,000 shillings of fuel. The next mother might not even have money for a motorbike to move to a referral hospital.
Her voice is a wake-up call. Even as progress is made, gaps remain that cost lives and futures. It's now not a question of whether the system is improving. It's whether that improvement will reach every mother in every county before it's too late. For Defrontera Originals, I am Anne Mawathe.